Go away!
We're not ready yet.
So hug your way to happiness.
For no other reason than it just feels good.
No,
There is-
yeah, well, you go.
There is science behind it. There you go.
Yeah, there is method to the madness. You go. Hot potato.
So, our bodies live off hormones. Everything's controlled by hormones. Even weight loss, for instance, is hormone-based. It's all about insulin response and everything else. Anyway, we're not talking about that today. We're talking about happiness. And there is a certain hormone called...
Oxytocin.
You go.
So oxytocin, sometimes called the love hormone. Now that is usually passed and generated through physical contact, although we learned recently not just physical contact when it comes to animals, however. Yeah. So oxytocin is one of the 4 key hormones for happiness. Okay, there are 3 others, we'll delve into them in other episodes, but this one we are focused on oxytocin. So different ways to increase your oxytocin, or the most simplest way, hugging.
And really what it comes down to is this authentic connection. So when you're looking at a hug, for instance, if you hug somebody and you don't really mean it, you can feel it. Okay, I don't care who you are, you know when somebody really means a hug. You know, when you got a lot of feeling, a lot of emotion into it, you can actually feel that sort of connection with somebody. And that's when oxytocin comes in. Like Rab said, it's not just about that physical contact, but it's having that meaningful connection. If you look into somebody's eyes and you tell them that you appreciate them.
I appreciate you, step hands.
I appreciate you. In fact, that's the story behind our watches.
Yeah, these are hugging our wrists every day.
Yeah. This came about because Rab held the fort when I went on a jolly on holiday, and you'd done a fucking cracking job.
Yeah.
And I said, I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Watch.
So, when it comes, like, you know, if you've not seen somebody for a long time, you usually give them a warmer, deeper hug, or if you're saying goodbye, well, why don't you do that every time you see them? Now, it could be your friends, it could be animal. Give your dog a good hug, or cat, or tortoise, or whatever.
Give your goldfish a hug.
Your children, family members. You're not just giving them a hug to show them love, you're actually getting something back. You're getting the oxytocin release.
And you know, whether you know the science behind this or not, you can feel it. It's this kind of realization of when you get a meaningful hug from anybody, you're like, man, that made me feel good. So let's try and make these connections in your life, whether it be through work colleagues, friends, family members, children, doesn't matter. Look, and pets, like...
Well, we found an interesting one the other day, didn't we?
We're recording a podcast on the, in fact, we can give them a bit of a shout out.
Yeah.
The Bella and Duke podcast. It's all about dog food and loving and appreciating your animals. Mm-hmm. It's mainly cats and dogs, mm-hmm. but yeah, they're having that sort of loving relationship and looking after them. But what Rowan said was making eye contact with your dog has been proven now to release oxytocin.
Yeah, that's right.
Both in you and your dog.
Yeah, so he was suggesting is like, don't ever wear sunglasses when you're with your dog out walking, because the dog is getting something when you gaze into its eyes. Who's your puppy?
My wife always makes fun of me. She's like, look at the two of you. And like me and Telly on the sofa were like, oh, I love you so much. But it makes you feel good.
Yeah. So, hug your way to happiness. Get the oxytocin flowing.
I'm not sure this is working, bud.
Just give it another hour.
Okay.